Hey guys, welcome to another Chilli House walkthrough. Today is the 21st of July, so let's look inside and see how we're getting on. Folks, so we'll start with the small plants first. So as you'll probably see, there's less in here. Middle of last week, I potted up my ghost pepper, and in place of the ghost pepper I popped the paprika plant into its pot, and it's coming on great. Loads of new growth, looking really good, nice and dark green foliage. And the Carolina Reaper, it's still in its pot. I'm just waiting on stuff coming from Germany before I can pot this guy up, but he is looking really good. Need to get it potted up short there. It's going to start fruiting in a small size. Next up is my Peri Peris. So these guys have been fruiting now for the last week or so, a couple of weeks. So we'll have a wee look and see how we're getting on. So this one's got a lot of chilies coming through. I don't know if you can see that in there. All the wee chilies coming there. There's loads of them, which is great. And on the second plant here, if we can see in there, we've got a really big chili coming. So it is fully grown now, so it should start to turn colour hopefully in the next 10 days or so. I'm not 100% sure how long it takes, but I believe once they've fully grown it should ripen within 10 days to 2 weeks. So we'll see how we're getting on. Next up, I guess, the ghost pepper that we potted up. So here we are here. As you can see, it's looking really good. It's really taken off since I potted it up as well, which is great to see. So it's actually started to come some buds in this one as well. I don't know if you can see that in there. So hopefully it'll start fruiting shortly. I know it's not going to be as big as some of the others, but it's just a guess down to the time of year when it's getting potted up. So next up is our brain strain yellow, and as you can see, that guy's got real big, and we have loads of fruit starting, loads of buds coming on everywhere. And I was reading an article the last day on these. These are one of the most prolific plants when they get going. I can really see that with the amount of buds taking off on it. Still no flowers, but moving in the right direction. Hopefully next week we'll have some flowers to show you. Next up is our Trinidad Scorpion Orange. So again, he's getting real bushy, real big in there in the corner. And on this one, we can see in there, we have some flowers through. Again, lots of buds coming here, there and everywhere. But these flowers have been out now for, well, two of them flowers have been out for about a week, so I'd hope we start seeing some fruiting coming from that shortly. And then we have our Carolina Reapers. So these have got real big guys. As you can see, they're real bushy. And again, we've finally started to see some pods developing. Same here on the second one, a wee bit smaller, but again, loads of pods starting. And then on the one I put in the big pot, it's a bit smaller as of yet, but it's really starting to catch up. And again, it is starting to develop. So you see that, a few pods in there as well. So great stuff. Along the front here, I do have the other two Trinidad Scorpions, which is here. Again, I'm waiting on bigger pots to pot these guys up. I think I am going to do that now. But we have some fruit coming in them as well. Less to see in that one at the moment, but nice and healthy, looking great. Next up, guys, is the Scotch Bonnets. So, got two of these. Not them ones there. These here and here. So, some nice, good bushy foliage. They're not the biggest plants in the world, but again, they're starting to really look good. And again, if you look in close there, we've got some flowers developing. A lot more on this guy. They are everywhere. So hopefully we're not too far away from tasting some lovely fruit from that. And then next up is our Burmese Nagas. So 3 plants. This is the biggest of the 3. So last week I was saying I wasn't happy with its size, but in that time it's really started to bush out. This is all new growth here, all new growth up here and here, and again, pods developing. In the middle then we have again another Burmese Naga. It's in a smaller pot, but look, it's coming on again. It's a lot of new growth here. It's moving on rightly. And then if we can move that away, this is our third plant. And this guy, for being in a smaller pot, is actually doing equally as good as its friend over here. And again, we've got lots of fruit developing, so hopefully we'll start to see some flowers on this guy as well soon. And it's starting to bush out down the bottom too, so I guess we're in middle of July now, so hopefully I have fruit by middle of August and on nearly every plant, all doing well. And next up we have our 7-pot chocolate larges. Now again, these two guys have really started to come onto themselves in the last couple of weeks. And again, this guy is going to look like he's going to be fairly prolific. Loads of flowers starting, absolutely loads, and it's got so much bigger in the last week, a lot bushier. We have a couple of flowers coming out down here, if you can see. Here we've got some flowers coming out, so that's good to see. It's partner in crime here, a wee bit smaller, but again moving in the right direction, which is great. It's starting to get nice and bushy, a lot of new growth down below as well. And then guys, finally we have our jalapenos, so I'll have to come back out a bit because these have got so massive and nice and bushy. Although what's kind of funny about it is lots and lots of wee pods starting, but as of yet nothing has flowered. But looks like we're going to have loads of jalapenos, so again looking forward to making some jalapeno poppers with these guys for the barbecue if we ever get weather worth a barbecue again. It's just rained again all week pretty much. Lovely Irish summer. So yeah, all 3 plants growing really well, looking good. Still no flowers out that I can see at the minute, but we're working on it, we're getting there. And hopefully, you know, come the end of the season as well, with so many peppers that we're going to have, make some sauces, maybe come up with some sauce recipes, so we'll see how we get on. So that's where we are at the moment. As I say, it's like a jungle in here, not a lot of space. When I started this out, I thought this greenhouse was going to be plenty big, but when these guys start to get into themselves, we have very little room. Guys, that's it for this week. I don't know if you can hear in the background there the rain. It's just so crap at the minute, but it hasn't really held the plants back, which is great. So that is our Chilli House update for this week. So remember, like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll see you again next week. Good luck.